Hello and welcome, Essex County College family. This is the Virtual Cafe powered by Student Life and Activities. We hope you and your family are doing well during this holiday season. Today's episode number 57 is Financial Aid Friday. This is our ultimate guide to financial aid, a walkthrough and a tutorial. We have some special guests with us today, experts from our financial aid department. We have Ms. Laura Menture. Laura, how are you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you? How's everybody doing?
All right. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate your help today. We also have Miss Rita Barragan. Rita, how are you this morning?
Hi, thank you. Hi, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us as well. We appreciate the help from our financial aid department, and we know our students definitely appreciate you doing this for them. So today we have our ultimate no-nonsense guide to our financial aid process and all that good stuff. I'm going to let our experts take it away.
Okay, everybody. Hi, my name is Laura Menture, and we also have Rita Barragan here as well. We're going to do this presentation. I'll do the first part, she'll do second, and we're just going to go over a lot of information about financial aid, what it is, the different types of financial aid, some things you may need to know when filling out the application and after as well. Whether you're new or returning, a lot of this information you may know, or it may be very new to you, so hopefully you'll be able to get something out of this presentation. Okay, we can go ahead. Okay, so financial aid, when you fill out the FAFSA, financial aid can include either gift aid, which is grants and scholarships, those you don't have to pay back. There's work study, which you can work on campus. You'll be assigned on campus. You'll get paid essentially a check. You'll get a paycheck every 2 weeks. And then there's loans, which is borrowed money that has to be paid back with interest. So when you do the financial aid application, there is different types of aid that you can get. And you can have a combination of grants, scholarships, work study, even loans. Okay. So FAFSA does stand for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. It is free to complete it. So if you ever get to a site that asks you to pay, that's the wrong site. It is a free application you fill out online. Many colleges and states, they use that to determine not only your federal or state aid, but also the college might have some aid as well. So for right now, we are in the 2020-2021 academic year, but you can start filling out your FAFSA for 2022. That started in October. The semester, the academic year will start in July, but you can do that now, and we do recommend you doing it as soon as possible using your 2019 tax information. Every year that you want to be in college, it's important that you do file your FAFSA in order to stay eligible for the aid each year. So some of the general eligibility requirements for financial aid: being a U.S. citizen or eligible non-citizen, having a valid Social Security number, a high school diploma or GED or equivalent, being enrolled in an eligible program or certificate, degree seeking, certificate or degree, maintaining your satisfactory academic progress. You can't owe a refund or on a federal student grant or be defaulted on a student loan. So if you were in a college before, you can't have a defaulted loan from there. For males, you would have to be registered with Selective Service by the age of 18 to 25, and then not have a conviction for the possession or sale of illegal drugs for an offense that occurred while you were receiving financial aid. So that's just some of the basic eligibility requirements for that. So applying for financial aid, one of the first things you need to do is make sure that you do create an FSA ID. So you can go to that website that's posted there, fsaid.ed.gov. If you're a dependent student under 24, your parents also have to create one too. This is the way for you to sign into your FAFSA, and also the way for you to sign the application electronically, along with your parents signing it electronically, so you don't have to do any of that paper. And completing the FAFSA, you'll just go to fafsa.gov. You'll sign in with your FSA ID and password and complete that application. Make sure you take your time to do it. There is no rush. It doesn't have to be completed in 10 minutes. Make sure you read each question, complete it. Just make sure you do that properly the first time. Everything is correct when you submit it. And we did put the federal school code there, so if you want to go to Essex County College this upcoming year or currently, our school code is 007107. It'll be easier to just pop that code in and it will pop up there as well. Okay, so this is just what some of that looks like. FAFSA.gov, that'll be the first thing you see. So if you're new, you're gonna go to start here, the new FAFSA process. If you're returning, you'll just log in. And when you do, if you've already done a FAFSA, let's say for 2020, 2021, and you're gonna go and do your 21, 22, it can actually drop in a lot of that information for you. So you'll just have to mainly focus on updating anything that may have changed, and also just the new income information. So this is just a little guide. Sometimes when students are filling out the FAFSA, they may not know who would qualify as a parent if maybe they're not living with their parents or their parents got remarried. But generally it is when you fill out the FAFSA, if you're under 24, it will be your parents that you're living with, biological or adopted. If your parent, your legal guardianship is also another question, or ward of the court, there are questions like that as well when you complete the FAFSA. So you'll just make sure that when you are completing it, you're reading the questions. Sometimes you won't need to put parent information, you'll just have to give us additional documentation. We can have this information and links also sent out as well, because I know this is just a quick little PowerPoint thing. So one of the important things that we always tell students is to use the IRS data retrieval tool when you are completing your FAFSA. This allows for you and your parents' income information to be dropped in automatically from the IRS. So you won't have to go to your 1040 and look line by line to see what information you need to put. You'll automatically get transferred over there. So when you do complete your FAFSA, if you can use the IRS data retrieval tool, we highly recommend doing that. It will also prevent you from having to get your IRS tax return transcript for us, which is a whole nother process through the IRS if you do get selected for verification. So it's just an easier way for you, and then also for us if we have to verify, we won't need any of that information. It'll already be there on the FAFSA. Okay, and this is just a little guide, simple steps for transferring your information. It is very simple. Once you log in, you'll get to the part where it tells you to link to the IRS. You can just click that. You'll put in your address that's on your 1040. It has to be the same address. If you moved or anything, that's fine, as long as it's the same address from your 1040, because that's what they use to verify that that's the student or the parent. And then once you link, you'll hit transfer, and everything will drop in to your FAFSA from that year, that tax year. So another part of FAFSA, when you do the FAFSA, that is for federal aid primarily. But most states also have a state aid program. They may have state aid. So for New Jersey, we have HESA, Higher Education Student Assistance Authority. Students can receive a tuition aid grant, TAG grant. That's the main that's the main grant for HESA. CCOG, Community College Opportunity Grant, EOF, Educational Opportunity Fund. That's another grant program that we have here at the college. NJ STARS. And there's other programs that the state offer, but you would need to do the FAFSA first. The second part is the state aid. So when you get to the end of your application for the FAFSA, you'll see here it says optional features, start your state application. It'll allow you to click over and complete any questions or information there. You'll be creating an NJ FAMS account. And when you go into there, you'll be able to see if you're eligible for any state aid programs. If they select you for verification, you'll be able to submit any documents to them. So definitely, we recommend students when they do the FAFSA, make sure they do the state application as well.
NJ FAMS. Sorry, I had to do that.
So this is what you'll see when you log into your NJFAMS. That's what the login page looks like. And then you'll have your welcome page. Your to-do list is very important. That's where you'll be able to see if you're missing anything, because sometimes if we don't ask you for anything, or even if we do ask you for verification documents for the office, the state can also ask you for that as well. So any documents that the state asks you for, HESA, NJFAMS, you'll see it in your to-do list, and you have to send it directly to them. They do allow you to upload it through Mapping Express, similar to what we do now. You can upload our documents through Mapping Express as well, but they also have their own login. So definitely NJFAMS is the place to look for any of your state aid eligibility. And so deadlines are very important, because there are deadlines to filing FAFSAs, and especially with the state aid has very strict deadlines. So priority processing is generally April 1st to file your FAFSA. We recommend applying at least 30 days before you plan to enroll, if not before, because we want to make sure that everything is complete. You do your FAFSA, we receive it. If you owe any documents, you'll hand them in, and we can get you awarded before you even start. So once you start, you just really have to worry about going to class. For state aid, they do have deadlines to apply for the FAFSA to get state aid. So if you apply for the FAFSA after the deadlines for the state, you may not be eligible for the state, but you would still be eligible for federal aid. So generally June 1st is for renewal students, the students who were here the previous year. You would do your FAFSA by June 1st. September 15th for all new students. And then November 1st and also March 1st are deadlines to submit documents. So for the fall, the deadline was November 1st to submit any missing documents. For the spring, it's going to be March 1st. So you just want to make sure that you keep track of all these deadlines, just to make sure that everything is in properly. And for the work study, so federal work study, we generally put up the applications in April, and then they are taken down again in August. So between April and August, you have a chance to apply for work study for the next upcoming academic year. That will also be on our website. It will be posted essex.edu under forms and documents. You'll be able to complete that, come in, and then submit it to our office. It is a first come, first serve basis, so once those applications pop up, you want to also make sure that your FAFSA is done and everything before you submit it to our office. So we'll be able to process that, and hopefully, you'll be placed. So once you submit the FAFSA, it takes about 5 to 7 business days for us to receive it. 3 to 5 to process, 5 to 7 for us to receive it here. So using your ACC ID number and password, you want to log into web services, or your username and password to log into My ECC. Those are very important portals. You will be able to see your financial aid status there. If you're missing any documents, if we received your FAFSA, if you were awarded, it'll all be there. And then you want to also, again, check if you have any missing documents, and you'll be submitting those to us. All of our forms are found at www.essex.edu/FA under forms and documents. You will also be able to see the instructions on how to upload them, because we can accept them all electronically right now. So you don't even have to come onto campus. You'll just upload them to us, and then we'll receive and review. And again, data retrieval tool is very important to use, because that'll prevent you from having to go through the IRS to get the tax transcripts. And then, so just a reminder, when you do submit documents to our office, if you are submitting them in person for any reason, we want to make sure that you do make copies of all your documents before you hand them in, because once we take the documents, they stay with us. So if you're, handing in driver's license, citizenship documents, tax transcripts, you want to make sure you keep those copies or originals for yourself, because what we take is what we keep. And make sure, even when you're submitting them electronically, put your full name and ECC ID on the documents so we can tell who's are who. When we go through them, we want to make sure that we have everything and that everything is signed and completed. And then again, mostly we submit them through Mapping Express right now. And your eligibility for aid, we cannot determine that until we receive and review all of your documents. So we won't be able to tell you if you're eligible or not until we get everything and process that. So just something that may pop up for you if you don't know what it is, the EFC, expected family contribution. It will be listed on your student aid report on your FAFSA, and you may hear us reference that as well. It estimates your family's financial ability to contribute to your education. So it's measured by us applying the official federal needs analysis formula, which we get from federal to data related to income, assets, family size, number in college. That all contributes to your EFC. That's what we determine whether how much aid you're going to be eligible for. The higher the EFC, you may receive less aid. It also, the state and colleges you list may use the information and responses. It's just a way for us to determine the amount of aid you'll receive when we prepare your package. And then the cost of attendance, you may also see that. Some students see that in their web services. It's not a bill that you get from us. It is not going to be what you actually need to pay to go to the college. It's just an estimated amount of the expenses you may expect to incur when you go to college for any given year. Each college is a little bit different, and the budget generally includes tuition fees, room and board, books, transportation, and other expenses that we also use to calculate the maximum amount of aid that you may receive from the various grants that you get. Okay, so for this, I'm going to hand it over to Rita. She's going to tell you about types of financial aid and some other information as well.
Oh, I want to start with what is the types of financial aid that we have. We had a federal grant. That is the federal grant. Everything is depending on how much the parents, in the case the student is dependent, how much the parent and the student make. The maximum annual award for the year for 2020-21 is $6,345. Everything is dependent student's income. If the student is dependent or if the student is independent, how much that is the student make in the income tax 2018. The award to be award for the financial aid for federal aid, that is if the student has no bachelor's degree, has not received a bachelor's degree, and also has to be a USA citizen or no eligible non-citizen, have a high school degree or GED or complete a homeschool program. The dollar amount that is, Laura explained, that this is a cost of attendance. Everything is depending on the income or the EFC that is the coming after the calculate from the income tax. Full-time student usually is 12 credits or more. That is, they can receive the maximum amount for the Pell Grant. The federal SCOG, that is another grant that is usually for the student that had a EFC 0. That means that is the income is very low. Some of the students that grant is like $200, $100 for each semester, fall and spring only, no summers, and that is the first coming first service. So that's why it's very important that if you apply early and you are eligible for that, you can see your CCOG in your eligibility letter. Work study, the same thing. When you apply for financial aid, you can ask for that. When you respond the question, are you interested for work study? You have to put a yes, so that we can consider it for the work study too. Also, if you are interested for that, you need to apply for the different application, and our website they had an application, so you need to fill it out. The same thing, first coming first service, and those are jobs is coming from the what department or what is the student career they have, so later they can check it out in what department they can work. Another grant we had, the Education Opportunity Fund, the EOF. The maximum for this year, they increased to the 1250. That means it's $625 for each semester if you are full-time student. The same thing that you have to be approved by EOF department. That is another application that you need to submit it, and that is the phone number that you can call for any question to the EOF department. Another one is the TAG, the tuition aid grant. That is the maximum, that is the range from 1282 to 2042 for fall and spring only, no summers. Those are required to be part-time student in the case that you are 6 credits up to 11.5 credits, so you can be eligible for that grant. Again, that is the no prior degree or bachelor's degree, legal resident at least 12 months in the state of New Jersey. Everything is coming and that is approved by the HISA. You can check in the website that is you are eligible for that kind of the program. The community college, the CCOG, that is another grant for the state. The same thing that this is the last grant student who applies. So the maximum for this student that is the parents make the just gross income less than 65,000. They can get it at this grant. They must be complete the FAFSA and HISA, and they must be registered at least for 6 credits. In some cases, some of the students that is they are not eligible for Pell Grant, but they can be eligible for the CCOG. Usually they pay the whole bill and no money for books, and no late fees or something like that. Or some of those cases, the students are eligible for some kind of the Pell Grant a little bit, they stay a little bit, but it's not complete your bill. So the CCOG, maybe they complete the bill. Everything is depending on the income, everything is depending after that we verify the student. New Jersey Star. For New Jersey Star, that is if the student graduate in the 50th tab of the school. So they need to submit the proof of that, the high school transcript to the financial aid office. And that is has to be registered full-time to be qualified for that grant. And also there has to be registered for the college level courses. Loan. That is Essex County College is not participating in federal loans. So only we say alternative loans. Alternative loan is we are referring at the private loans. That is involved, that is a third party. So make sure that the student had a good credit. Some cases they need to get a co-signer if that's the case. Private loans are available for the USA citizen and eligible non-citizen. And those loans is very important. They know that the state has to pay back with interest. New Jersey Dreamers. For New Jersey Dreamers, it is that the students are no USA citizen, you are no eligible non-citizens, but that is the student can get it a state grant. But that is not limited for TAG, EOF, and CCOG. To be eligible for that, the student has to be attending a New Jersey high school at least for the last 3 years. Graduate for the New Jersey high school and receive the high school diploma or GED. For males, they has to be registered for selective service. Also, they need to fill it out the affidavit. That is the paper that form we had in the office. So they need to complete. So they need to complete all those eligibilities to get it at New Jersey Dreams. Any questions or regarding this, they go to the state. Maybe the student receive emails from the state grant, the state of New Jersey for New Jersey farms. They need to submit those documents to them. And also they need to apply on the HISA New Jersey alternative application. It's very important. They need to do that application. They don't need to apply for FAFSA because if they don't have social security number or they don't are eligible non-citizen. So everything is coming from the state. Check your status. That is very important. Is the students now that some of the students everything is now online. They need to check your status before to call, or before to go to the office, or before to send emails. Everything is online. Everything that is you see, we can see too. So if you check your status online and you see that is in my ECC portal, that is you see what is your financial aid status. If you're missing some information, please submit the documents as soon as possible. That is, if you are eligible for financial aid or denial, they tell you everything. So that is that you can check your award for every academic year. So you have an idea how much your financial aid is you are eligible for. The same thing that is, you can see that is your tuition, fees, books for every semester is paid by financial aid or maybe that you have to pay. Financial aid eligibility notice. That is the sample how they looks like the letter when your financial aid is ready. So you can have idea that is what is your estimated award or Pell, State, any kind of the scholarship that you have. So that is you can see and you can find out through my ECC portal too. Your registration status. That is full-time is 12 credits or more. That is, if you are registered less than 12 credits, we need to adjust the award. No shows. If you had you register for classes but you never attend the classes and the professor report as a no-show, that is financial aid cannot pay for the classes. So you need to contact as soon as possible to the professor and correct it. It is a mistake or something happened. Financial aid cannot pay for those classes. Your award is always based on your family EFC, your family contribution. So that means that is depending on how much that you are eligible. That is and we pay according to the credits that you registered to. The course requirements. That is you can pay your financial aid can pay according to your major too. So you can identify it is the class that you register is part of your major when you check in your status. That is, if they say next to your class is the class is a part of financial aid can pay yes or no. It is that is the class they say is not part of your major. You need to contact the enrollment service as soon as possible. Fill it out the form. Maybe that is an error. Maybe that is they need to re-evaluate your course evaluation and check. It is say yes, and they change later. So that means that this financial aid can pay. If they say still no, financial aid cannot pay, you need that class to transfer to another college, you can take the class, but you have to pay. Everything you can check through my ECC, through the changes you can see through my ECC, website. You can change that is any changes they make in the enrollment service that you can see if the financial aid can pay, so you can see later, or it's not. You are you has to be paid for the class. Paying for your registration bill. If the student is not, some of the classes are not part of the program, of course you have to pay. That is financial aid. It is financial aid is not cover the whole bill, so that means that is your responsibility to pay the rest of the bill. In some of those cases, that is if the student apply for financial aid, but that is the document you are still waiting for some documents through the IRS, or you don't have no time to submit it on the time that we need it, so you can request for the temporary registration protection. That means that we put a protection in your registration, give it time to the students to submit the documents. So you don't need to make a payment in that time, but we protect your registration. So it's very important that if you don't have no time to submit the documents as soon as possible, so try to use the temporary registration protection in your registration. So if you don't want to put a protection, so if you register your financial aid is not ready yet, so make sure that you go and make a payment, or you can use the payment plan that is the school offer. Of course, that you can contact to the boss's office if you want to start to make a payment. Buying books. So everything for some of the students, the financial aid is ready. and that is they need a book voucher, you can go to my ECC portal and you can see, you can log in and you can see you are eligible for book voucher. Right now, some of those classes are online. I know that there's some of those classes that are automatic, that is electronic books, so maybe you don't need. The book voucher is only for the student after financial aid paid a whole bill and they have money left, so they can create a book voucher. Some of the students that financial aid is not covered the whole thing, they cannot get a book voucher. And that is the student's responsibility for book voucher. If you after that is that you are eligible and something happened in your financial aid, you made changes and you are not eligible later, so you need to pay back the money that you used for the books. The SAP. For all the students, according to the federal aid, that is, they must complete at 67% of the college level they are registered for that semester. And the GPA, the minimum GPA is 2.0. They must be complete, and they must be complete according to your major. The maximum time frame is depending on the major they are looking for. The limit, we had a limit for the 30 remedial credits. If the student take more than 30 remedial credits, financial aid cannot pay. That is your responsibility to pay after those credits. That is the SAP. Usually, that is you transfer the credit to another institution, so that is no count. The SAP discount like for Essex County College for the school that you are attending in that moment. How we evaluate the satisfactory academic progress? That is, the student has to be determined that if you are, we send you by email to your ECC email account. If you are not eligible, you are not meet the satisfactory academic progress, you need to take, of course, we denial. So the student need to see the advisor as soon as possible, and they can submit appeal, maybe the financial aid probation appeal. If the appeal is approved, so that is after that you submitted appeal with your counselor, the appeal is financial aid is approved, we award you semester by semester. And you can check everything is in the website. The financial aid refunds. After the financial aid paid the whole bill, including books, so you had a refund. The money they had left after that we pay. So if you are if you are interested for, they can use a direct deposit. It is very important that you can submit, download and complete the authorization form to direct deposit, that is into the Bursa's office. So when the check is ready, they automatically send you the check to your direct deposit. If you don't sign for that program, so they send you the check to your address that you have in the enrollment service. Those are the important links that the student can use. That is for the Access.edu, the phone numbers, in the case that is the students want to apply for financial aid and they had some questions when they do the application, they can use the phone number in Spanish, in English. They had all those phone numbers that can help you, and they go through when you need it in the when you are completing the FAFSA. The same thing for the state. Any questions for the state, please, you need to contact to the state if you receive emails from the state too. Our location is we are in the Newark campus in the room 3220 green area, and West Essex right now I think this week is closed, but that is that you can contact, you can go to the room 38, the faculty center. Right now, that is the phone number. They are the phone numbers for financial aid. And right now, Monday through Thursday, we are open from 9 to 4:30, and Friday from 9 to 3. Also, that is the financial aid caseload. It's very important that it's for the student. They need to contact your financial aid officer according to your last name. So make sure when you send emails to your financial aid officer, use your ECC email. We can only answer the question if you use your ECC email put your ID number, your name, your last name, and you can ask for the questions. So you can give at least 2 or 3 business days that we can answer your question. And make sure that this email is according to your last name.
All right, students, does anybody have any questions for our financial aid experts? Ms. Menture, Ms. Barragan, thank you so much for that wonderful
Yes, I
presentation.
do.
Go for it.
You're welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
My question is, I was typing and I stopped. I'm in math now. I registered for my bio class, which is supposed to start in January, and I was already asked to make a payment by December 16th. But I don't know if I'm passing my math class yet because my final is next week. So what do I do?
If you are not awarded any aid for the spring, you would need to make sure you make a partial payment to ensure that your classes are not voided. If there's no payment in the system, no financial aid in the system, you run the risk of your classes being dropped from the system.
Okay, because I did have money left over. So the money that was left over, they took that and then they told me what my balance was. Because I applied for I started class in August. So I did the FAFSA for this year and part of next year, and I just redone the FAFSA again. So whatever, the Pell money that I was supposed to get, I didn't get it. They took it to put it towards the class that I registered for.
When students are awarded, it's for the fall semester only, and then you're only awarded for the spring. So
Okay.
there's not, like, if you have any funds left over after everything is paid for the fall, let's say, that doesn't go for the spring semester, it comes back to you in a refund.
I didn't get anything. When I did get my money, I came to the school and I made 2 payments to financial aid, and I was supposed to receive my Pell money in November, November 1st. I didn't get it because I had registered for my class. So when I looked on my profile, it said that they took the money and put it towards my, I was supposed to get 5 something, but they took 4 something and put it towards my class, and I was supposed to get $100 back. But then as soon as I went to register, they took the $100. They didn't send it. They didn't give it to me. So
Okay.
now I don't know if I should pay for the class because next week is my final, and that's around the same time I have to pay for the last class. Now, what if I pay for the class and I didn't, pass my final? Because if you pass the final, you pass the class. What is so happen if I don't pass it? Will I get my money back?
Well, if you withdraw within the deadline of 100% reimbursement, then yes.
Okay.
I'm also going to put my contact information in the chat if you want to send me an email, and I can look into stuff further for you.
Okay, I applied for financial aid and then I was asked for a green card, but I don't have the green card presently. It's in process. I went on the campus, I told them, I gave them the receipt, but they keep sending me email that I should carry my green card. So what can I do?
So if it's for citizenship, we do need that copy of the green card because we need to process it through the system it has to match.
But I don't have the green card presently.
What information do you have? Because that's what we need. We need that copy of the green card to show that it is recent, current, so we can process it through our system and confirm. That's probably why you keep getting it. Yeah, the receipt is probably not going to be sufficient. We would need the actual copy front and back of the card.
Okay.
I am on my last semester,
Mm-hmm.
so by June I was supposed to graduate by June, So I don't know if I should apply for FAFSA 2021 or not.
So you can still apply for FAFSA 21, 22. You can put our college, you can put up to 10 colleges. So if you're not sure if you're still going to go to Essex, you know, in July, you can still put our institution on there along with any other colleges you may want to go to. So we'll all get that information just in case you'll still be here. It wouldn't be an issue for you to put that on there.
Okay, good. So my second question is, right now I would like to register for my classes, but I can't because I have some hold on my FAFSA account. So I have been sending all the papers that they are requested for me. So for some reason, I keep receiving email that my papers are still missing. Is there any way that I can speak to someone so we can go over the paper that is missing? Because I sent everything. I don't know what else should I send.
So yeah, you do have an assigned officer. I'm not sure if, Joseph, if you can go back maybe 1 or 2 slides. Yeah, sorry. The other one.
According to the last
Yeah.
page, it looks like it's me.
Yeah, so it's actually Miss Rita.
Yeah, you can email me so I can check it out. That is what is the documents missing, so I can follow up and we can check.
Yeah, so is there any way you can zoom on it so I can get the email, because I can? It's really hard.
Yeah,
for me to
you are
see it now.
interested. Yes, send me the email and we can set up the Zoom so we can speak each other so we can see what happened.
Okay, and okay, my last question is,
I have a question.
So Nadegi has one more question, and then Armada is going to go, and then the phone number will be next, and then Melissa. So Nadegi, Armada, phone number, and then Melissa. All right, go ahead, Nadegi.
okay, so since 2018, when I start class, so I never like missing a class a day. So how should I know that I have a perfect attendance? Because I never miss class one day, not a day, since 2018. So for some reason, I never received anything that said that I have a perfect attendance. So how should I know, or how should I look for that I have a perfect attendance?
I'm not sure that is a thing that is done at the college. I'm honestly not sure. I know that's not financial aid.
Oh, okay, so it's not for financial aid.
No, we only, the number of classes that you miss or not doesn't really matter. It's only when your professor reports you as a no-show, meaning you did not attend for the first part of those classes. If you never show up, the professor will report you as a no-show. That only affects your financial aid. If you miss a class here or there all the time, that doesn't affect your financial aid. It's only when your professor reports you as a no-show.
Oh, okay. Like, so in that case, yeah, I always do. So once again, I would like to see the email. Can you please zoom on the email for me so I can talk
Yes,
to you?
Mr. Graham put it in the Zoom chat, her email.
Oh, okay, it's in the chat. Okay, thank you so
Yes.
much. So I'll get it and I'll talk to you soon.
It's in the chat. In the chat, I put it in the chat too. My email.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Armada.
Okay.
Hi.
Oh, phone number. You got your 2 in line. There's 2 people before you.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Hi. Yeah, that is Charles. Hi. Good morning. My name is Charles. I've been in the school for almost 2 to 3 years, and every year I've been applying for financial aid. They keep on turning me down. Meanwhile, I've been paying tax. It was only this year that I was able to get a fair grant. So I want to find out what prevents me from getting financial aid from the school.
There's a number of different reasons. It could be paying taxes doesn't make you eligible or not eligible. That has nothing to do with it. It's income, how many are in the household, how many are in college, things like that determine your eligibility. Also, if you're defaulted in a loan, if you handed in all your documents or not, if you're a U.S. citizen, non-citizen, things like that determine your eligibility. It doesn't have to do with paying taxes.
Yeah, I qualify all what you are saying, but the last time I went to the office, they asked me whether I live with my children. I told them my children are not living with me here. I have case about 4 that I pay their fees, but they are not living with me here. So I That is why they are telling me I'm not eligible. But meanwhile, I don't see why I'm not eligible because when I look at the requirements, I qualify to have a financial aid. Because of that, I supposed to have finished the last this year. But because of the difficulties I'm encountering, I couldn't make it. So please, if there's a way, because this year I was able to get a pay grant. I don't know how they managed to get it to me. If they can elaborate it well, because I see no reason why I'm not eligible. Because I have case which are on my document, so I don't see why I'm not qualified.
So what you can do is if you want to contact directly your officer, based on your last name. What's your last name? The first letter.
The first name is Charles. The last name is Etiwa.
So E.
ETSIBAH.
Okay, so I'm gonna put your officer's name and contact information in the chat. I would contact him directly because he would be the one that has your documents and everything and has reviewed your eligibility. And you can ask him, what's going on with it, what you're eligible for, if there's any issues like that.
Yeah. When I started, they gave me few dollars, about $400. But going forward, they just carried off that I'm no longer eligible because they're looking at my tax. I receive more income, and that is why they are trying to deny me, which is also an issue that I need to find out.
Yeah, that's I put Mr. Maloney's information in the chat. I would contact him because that's going to be something that I won't be able to answer unless it gets looked into. So he'll be able to look into everything for you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Armada, you're up, and then Melissa.
I have a question too.
Okay, you're after Melissa.
Thank you.
Armada, go for it.
Okay. Hello. I applied for the financial aid 2021, and I filed all of the documents. And 1 week before the class starts, the office told me I have to submit my high school transcript. So when I went in the office, I gave them, they said they need the paper. I have to evaluate that paper first. And then I submit that in the site. They said the document must come from the Ministry of Education in my country for the site, for the evaluation. And I request, but it takes longer than I expected. So I start to pay myself the semester. My question is, if the semester end and I pay, when the evaluate document will be submitted in the financial department, my money will be refunded to me?
So if you do pay out of pocket and you get awarded, you may have that money refunded back to you depending on how much you're awarded. If it covers everything, yes.
Okay. And the final exam is the next week. But I did not finish to pay. What's gonna happen? I can do the final.
Well, you're still in the class, so yeah, you would have to complete the class if you're registered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the financial aid sent me the mail. They said, "Oh, don't leave me." They say we have not received a 2020-2021 financial aid for you.
2020, 2021, you mean?
Yes.
But you did complete it?
I did, but they said they missed one document, my high school transcript.
Oh, yes. So
That's
then,
what I said. The
yeah,
document, the document must to come from my country, so it takes longer than I expect.
Yeah, so once you get that document, submit that to our office, and we'll be able to then process everything.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, Melissa, you're up.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, it's not afternoon yet. So the question that I have this semester, this December, like I'm graduating, which is I'm finished with Essex County. I'll get my associate degree, but I'm planning on transferring to workers. So, but my financial aid for the spring semester is still in Essex County. So now, if I'm going to workers for the spring, so how do I get my financial aid transferred over there?
You have to make sure that you put Rutgers on your FAFSA. Did you include that? Rutgers as well on your FAFSA?
I'm not sure if I included when I was filing it.
So you can make a correction and you would have to add Rutgers University, so then they'll be able to see your FAFSA information.
Okay, so I can still do it now, even though that I filed the application like since maybe like last year.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Good morning. I have a question about how long ahead should I apply for my financial aid. I applied for 2021 on November 9th. I'm checking my ECC and nothing is uploaded yet. Maybe it's too soon to see any information.
You did for 2020, 2021, or 21, 22?
I did 2020, 2021. Well.
And you did in November?
November, yes.
It should be up, but I'm gonna put my information in the chat again if you want to send me your student aid report, and I'll be able to look at that.
Okay.
The student aid report you'll find on your FAFSA. It'll be an option for you to download that if you just email that to me through your ECC email.
Yes, I just checked that, and there says, give me 1 second while I go to it. It says like nothing. Oh, where is it? Nothing, there's no record.
Or sometimes if you are new student, sometimes enrollment service that you have to double check if they have your social security number in your ECC application, because sometimes some of the students, they don't have social security number, they have the ID number. So when the financial aid tries to download your application, we have to match your social security number with your information, and we can pull it up the application. Maybe that happened. Okay. So when you send Laura, we can send to us, we can double check. It is the case, you need to bring your social security card and submit it in your application in enrollment service. So after that, we can trigger your application. It is the case.
Well, I did submit my social security number.
Okay, we can check it, because sometimes maybe it's a mistake, because sometimes when they type in you make, or maybe enrollment service, when they type in the social security is not right, maybe that is that happened.
Okay. So should I email you, Laura?
Yes, you can send me the student aid report from your FAFSA directly, and I'll be able to look at that. And if it's like Ms. Barragan said, if it's, just your social matching, it just may need to be corrected, or it could be something else.
How would I send it? Like a screenshot, or?
You can download it into a PDF.
Oh, I download. Okay. Okay, I'll do that. One last question, because I would like to take a class on the winter in the winter section, the one that called the 15-day session. I'm wondering if my financial aid can cover that, but it will be just like 3 credits.
Winter intersection is part of the spring semester too. So if you register for the winter, you must register for the spring, because we count. If you take 3 credits in winter and maybe 9 credits for the spring, we pay under the spring semester. If you only register for winter, we cannot pay.
Okay,
so make sure you register for both semesters at the same time.
So I understand it's just 12 credits minimum. I'm sorry.
No,
12 credits minimum.
No, the minimum. It depends on how many credits you want to register, but you have to register for both semesters in the same time.
Okay. Yes. Got it.
If you leave only winter, we cannot pay. because winter is part of the spring semester for financial aid purposes in the way that we can pay. Okay, so make sure you register for both semesters.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay, I received a private question in the chat, and they would like to know, is there a difference in the financial aid process between add, drop, and withdrawal periods?
So when students drop, if they drop with 100% reimbursement, then that won't affect their financial aid because it's like they never registered. But when students withdraw, it can affect them, yes.
Okay, and they also would like to know some more information on the difference between dependent and independent student.
So dependent students are generally students that are under 24 years old. However, if somebody is under 24, but they are married or have a child that they support, or there's any number of other instances where there may be a ward of the court, homeless, that can make them independent. Some students may need to do an appeal, but generally anybody above 24 is automatically considered an independent student. So dependent students have to put their parent information on the FAFSA, independents do not.
Okay, excellent. And we have one more question in the chat, and they want to know the difference between degree and certificate programs, matriculated versus non-matriculated.
Well, students would need, for FAFSA, would need to matriculate into, so they have to be degree seeking. Non-matriculating is you're not degree seeking, you're just coming here to take classes. Those students would not be eligible for aid. And there are certain certificates that may not qualify for financial aid, but generally most like degrees, as long as you're degree seeking, you will be eligible.
Okay, excellent. We have some more of those. We're going to wait on them until a little later. Let's see if we have any more live questions.
Yeah,
caller, you're on the line.
You're
on the line. Welcome to Fund Line.
Yes,
How can we help you?
Yes, sir. Charles again. Yeah, from the answer you gave to the dependent and non-dependent, you did not specify whether the person lives with you or that was when you read when you look at what is in the book, they did not specify whether the person is staying with you or is living somewhere. And therefore, I find no reason why I should be denied when I have dependent. Because when I read the financial edition, they did not specify whether your children should stay with you. I know why I should not. I don't want my children to live with me, but they are denying me. But dependents are those you are taking care of. I think that is the definition of dependent.
So there's two different dependents. Dependent student is a dependent versus independent. If you have dependents, that's a completely separate thing. Having dependents, generally, it's when you provide more than half of their support. So more than 50%, if you provide, that is considered your dependent.
Yeah, basically, I do more than that.
Yeah,
I do more than that because I'm not living with them. That is why you cannot see.
Yeah, that's why I had suggested speaking with your officer directly, so they'll be able to look into your file more and discuss that with you one-on-one. Because that seems like it would be a very student-specific question. I would highly suggest you reach out to them so they'll be able to look into that more.
Yes, ma'am. Because every year they keep on sending me email to submit my documents, which I do. Whenever I send it, the lady will ask me. The lady will ask me to present certain document, and I give it to her and say you are qualified. But at the end of the day, I have to pay my own fees, which is giving me a big hell.
I would definitely reach out to your individual officer so you can speak with them directly because they have all your documents. They'll be able to look at them and see what you're missing, what you're not, and answer any specific questions to your situation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, do we have more questions for Guru Mentor and Guru Barragan? All right, I have a question privately in the chat. They would like to know, there seems to be some confusion about the years like 2021 and 21-22. How do those translate into academic years as far as the FAFSA is concerned?
So for 2020, 2021, academic years run from July 1st to June 30th. So right now for 2020, 2021, it'll run from July 1st, 2020 to June 30th, 2021. And then on June 1st of next year, July 1st of next year, then starts 21, 22. It runs from July to June. Those are the academic years.
Okay, awesome. And another
I
question.
have a question.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. No, go, Maria.
Thank
Go ahead,
you.
Maria.
How long in my kind of the same question that I had before. So if I want to apply for 2021, 2022, when is a good day to start applying for it?
Now.
Now? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can apply as of October 1st.
Okay. Thank you.
Do we have any more questions for the financial aid gurus? All right, I have one here in the chat. They would like to know, is there an income requirement for the FAFSA years 2021 and 21-22?
It's general. We don't have like a specific number that says, oh, you're not eligible, because it's different factors. So it's income, how many are in the household, how many are in college, assets, all of those together are, determine your eligibility. So like if somebody makes $50,000, but there are only one person in the household versus 50,000 and 5 people in the household, that's going to be 2 completely different eligibilities. So it's not just like an income. If you make X amount of money, you're not going to be eligible, except for the CCOG grant. That limit is 65,000 adjusted gross income. That is the maximum a student can make for the CCOG grant specifically.
Okay, we have another question in the chat, and they would like some information about the tax year info, like what tax year income do you need for 2021 and what tax year income do you need for 21-22?
So right now it's, yeah, go ahead, Rita.
For 2020-21, the income tax is 2018. For 21-22, the income tax is 2019.
Okay, perfect. They would also like to know more details on citizen eligibility.
The USA citizen, if they born in this country or they are naturalization USA citizen, and non-eligible non-citizen for the people they had a green card, we call a green card, or eligible non-citizen. That's very important that sometimes some of the students, they had a social security number, but they have no employment authorization only. For those students, they are not considered that they can get a financial aid, because in the ID they say employment authorization only. So those are the students, they cannot get a financial aid. It has to be USA citizen or eligible non-citizen.
Excellent. Another question we have is, where again is the data retrieval tool on the FAFSA, and what do a student do if a parent will not provide financial income? I know we had the data retrieval tool highlighted in the presentation. This will be up on YouTube later. But what will they do if a parent will not provide financial income?
If the parent is not living in this country, it's okay. They cannot, of course, they don't have no income tax. But if they are like, if they don't live in this country, but they work in different country, so they can put it on their own taxes income, how much money they make in that country. They can convert to USA dollars and they can put it at this how much you make. In that case, that some of the students say they don't work, the parents don't work. So we want to know who support the person, who support the parent, how they survive. If they had a small business or something, but they have to provide some kind of the income. It is that the case. And sometimes some of the parents, maybe they don't work because they receive Social Security, they receive welfare, or they kind of those money, so they need to report in the FAFSA, because some of the questions they say, if you are receive Social Security, you can put a yes. But in the state, they need to put how much money they receive in the year for the Social Security. Those students, they can get a financial aid. If they receive child support, for example, they don't work, but they receive child support, they need to put it in the FAFSA. They had a lot of questions they need to complete. Don't leave blank, because that means that they have no income at all. So that is that we can question what happened. So if they don't live in this country, they live in another country, somebody support, they can put it on their own taxes income, or the student receive that money from somebody else. They need to report that what kind of the money received, or they work in different country, they need to report how much money on their on taxes income.
Excellent.
May I ask a question, please?
Go for it, Odette.
If you did your FAFSA and the information didn't change, would it be the same information that you just submitting?
From FAFSA to FAFSA, from year to year, you mean?
Yes, because I did the application in August, but now I have to do it again for this semester coming. Nothing has changed. It's the same thing.
Well, so for when you do the FAFSA for 2020, 2021, it includes this fall, next spring, next summer one. When you do 2021, 2022, you have to use 2019 income.
Oh, 2019. Oh,
2019, yeah.
Okay, the one that was filed already. Okay.
Yeah, so when you do your FAFSAs, you would have already filed your tax information. So for 21, 22, it's 2019. This year, right now, it's 2018 income.
Okay. Next question. I could only take 4 credits. Is it anything else I can do? Because I know if you're a full-time student, you get all of Pale.
The federal, they can pay from 1 to 12 or more credits if you are eligible for financial aid, of course. For the state, you have to be a minimum 6 credits. If you are 4 credits, automatically that we deny.
Okay, so I could only get from one. I could only get from one state.
Yes, only federal. Only federal.
Yeah,
But it's federal, only federal.
Yeah,
but
because
I
took everything, and the only thing I have is 2 classes, and there's only 4 credits each. I can't take anything else.
4 credits each, so that means that if you are registered for 8 credits, you are eligible for the.
No, you're not understanding. The 2 classes that I have to take is 2 bios, so I can't take them at the same time. I have to take one.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
I got it.
Take one, and then when I pass that one, then I could take the final one.
Yeah, you are eligible for federal. That is the possibility that the federal can pay for 1 class, but the state no, because you are under 6 credits, so you cannot get it.
Yeah, so that's why I have to contribute the rest of the money, because they're not fully paying for the class.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I have a question. Like she said that if you registered if you registered for a credit class, that the federal is gonna pay for it, right? So I think last summer, first summer one, I was able to do like 4 credit unit, but I was asked to pay for that. So does it mean that I did not have the federal financial aid, or it was on the state? Because I didn't quite understand that.
Federal means that is depending on the EFC. If you high EFC, is depending on your income. If the income is very high and the EFC, the expected family contribution, that number is high, so maybe for 1 class, you cannot get a financial aid. So that's why it's a little bit, I don't want to be in general that everybody can get a financial aid. It's depending on the income, and every case is different. So maybe in your case, that is the EFC is high for 1 class for 4 credits, you will be no eligible. But automatically, we put it a denial, and we put it a reason why. Like, for example, sometimes that is maybe for 6 credits or for 9 credits, you will be eligible for a little bit. So that is that you can get it. But everybody is different depending on the income.
So because by the last year financial aid, I didn't have any income, so I didn't even know about that, because when I was taking the summer class, I thought, okay, I could just do 1 class rather than do 2 classes, because I wanted to do 2 classes, but I felt like it was too intense and I couldn't do the 2 classes, so I had to do a 4 unit credit class. So I didn't know. It was up until when I finished and I had a hold, and I was told that I needed to pay for the class. I was like, I thought I had financial aid, because I had to contact them before taking the class, and I was made to pay for the class. So I didn't understand why I had to pay for that, because I thought I had a financial aid, which I know my income. I didn't have an income, but when I registered for the financial aid at that year, so I don't know.
So this was for summer 1?
Yes.
Okay, so summer 1 has different requirements depending on how much, again, like Rita said, income, but also if you were full-time in fall and full-time in spring, you had to have been registered for 6 credits to receive summer 1 aid. So if you were full-time for both semesters, then yes, you would have had to register for 6 credits. That's why you were not eligible then, in that case.
Okay.
Okay, Mariama, go, and then Benedette, you're next, okay?
Okay, hi. My question is that on this semester, I was missing some document, so I had to pay out of pocket, but I had to request those documents. I'm gonna get them in like 10 days. So if I bring those documents, will I get a refund?
So it depends on what you're eligible for. We won't know if you're eligible, how much you're eligible for until the documents are turned in and reviewed. So if you are awarded, let's say, and it covers your entire bill and you had already paid out, then yeah, you would get a refund back. But if you're not eligible or if it's only partially, you may not. It depends on how much you're eligible for.
All right, thank you.
Benedict speaking. Good afternoon. Yeah, I'm finishing my general science associate on January. That's why I put for I registered Bio 103 just to complete my general science. So how can I do it? Am I gonna pay for it because I'm eligible for financial aid every year? For this one, I have only 1 class to complete my general science. What will I do, please?
So if you did your FAFSA, have all your documents in, you may be eligible for federal aid to cover just the 1 class. As long as are you registered for spring?
Yeah, I registered for January. Yeah, for
okay. So federal
yeah,
does not have a credit limit. It's state that does. So if you have one
not
credit
for spring, for January, I don't know.
Yeah, that's spring. Spring starts in January.
For January. 1, yeah, I forgot, you know. So nobody can pay for my financial aid. For my life. Am I going to pay for myself?
You have to check your eligibility. If you're eligible for federal aid, meaning you'll see that in your MyECC account, then it can cover 1 class, 1 credit, 3 credits, 4 credits. It's the state that does not, that does have a limit. So you may be eligible for federal aid.
Okay, because I hope they will not drop my class because it's only 1 class that's left for me to complete.
So make sure that you check your student portal, your MyECC portal, to see what you're eligible for if you were awarded, and if not, you can also contact your financial aid advisor.
So,
and they'll be able to look into that for you.
Yeah, but is the financial aid, are they in the school right now, like on Monday, Tuesday? So go there to let them know. How can I let them know, please?
You would email them. You can send them their email. It's by their last name. It should be on the screen. So based on your last name, if it's I think, it'll be Miss Lee Powell. You'll email her through your ECC email using your name, ID number, and your inquiry, and she'll be able to get back to you.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm grateful. Thank you.
So, excuse me, does the winter intersection, does it also include a financial aid, or it's not part of financial aid?
So for winter, you have, in order to be eligible for financial aid, you have to register for both winter and spring. So if you're only registering for winter, you will not be eligible for any aid. You have to add classes for the spring as well for it to be covered.
Okay.
First off, I just want to say a humongous thank you to Miss Laura Menture and to Miss Rita Barragan, our financial aid gurus. Thank you for coming on and doing Financial Aid Friday. We now know that our students definitely appreciate it. So that was awesome. Thank you so much for that. That PowerPoint is one of the greatest. I've been working here for over a decade, and I've never seen a PowerPoint like that. That is the Bible of financial aid, 35 pages. It covers pretty much the entire spectrum from FAFSA to money in your account and book voucher. It is perfect. This video will be available on our YouTube channel later today as a permanent resource for all students of Essex County College. It's tinyurl.com/SLAO Essex. We'll put that in the chat. You'll also receive emails about this from Mr. Graham, Director of Student Life Activities, in your student email. So make sure you're checking those. We want to thank all of you for tuning in to the Virtual Cafe today. We want to thank our financial aid gurus, of course. We hope that you and your family are doing well during this holiday season. Please stay warm, stay safe. We will check you next time, and take care.